That was a great performance tonight. Right in front of you. It was a great performance tonight, but I have to say Split, I think, caught a few people by surprise. When you heard that, what was the emotion going through your head right there?
I think I do a pretty good job of sometimes keeping like real good track of the volume, the damage, and the takedowns. And I thought that I was doing that almost the entire fight. If you extend yourself too much, you're putting yourself in harm's way. You know, like that's not how other sports work. When you're like winning, you play differently than when you're losing. So I thought that I was winning most of those rounds. You know, like maybe the third, I was like, you know, that one was maybe like a little bit close, but I thought that I was bagging the other ones. Definitely knew that I had the first two. So, yeah, confusing, but that's like the sport of MMA. Yeah. Until like the rules get fixed, then it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, the guy scored the last three for him, but I haven't seen anyone else who agrees with him yet. So.
Well, yeah, if they would have scored one of those first two for him, that would be like a real riot.
The last three are pretty wild too. How happy are you with your own performance? You know, had great volume, sort of kept him on the back foot most of the fight. How happy are you with your own
Yeah, I was really happy with it. I think I did exactly what I have to do, you know, like when you fight these top guys, especially when they're like knockout artists, kind of like Marlon is, you just have to fight them in a certain way. Marlon doesn't close distance very well, so I knew as long as I wasn't closing the distance for him, he was going to have a really hard time hitting me. And I think that I fought like almost a perfect fight for fighting that type of opponent.
Yeah, he's like notorious for sort of getting his offense going in the fourth and fifth. So when you're going into those rounds, do you take a mental note of like, okay, this is where he could potentially be more dangerous, or are you just treating it the same?
No, absolutely. Like every round, my coaches go, he's going to come out harder now. He's going to come out harder now. So no, that was definitely expected. That's how Marlon fights. He shouldn't fight like that, to be honest. If I had like a critique, he should not. Like even when I had him down in the first two, I was like, what's this guy doing? You know, like, but that worked out good for me. But yeah, I knew he was going to come out just harder and harder and harder.
Yeah. Do you think that's like an energy conservation thing he's doing, or or is it a counter opportunity he's looking for? Why do you think he chooses to fight like that? I mean,
I have no idea. You know, like I really have no idea. I was pretty happy with the way that I was really in good shape tonight. You know, like it's not easy on like the body to mix in the wrestling, then go back to striking, mix in the wrestling, go back to striking, be fast on your feet, and then also like kind of like have that grindy wrestlingness. So. That's something that I was super happy about that I was doing, because that's like a very difficult task in MMA. So, yeah.
And then a rare one from you, a Callout.
Yeah.
With well, I got something for you to eat and it don't taste good.
How stupid is that?
It was like listening to Chael call out Anderson all over again.
It was supposed to be as stupid as possible, so I hope that I accomplished that.
I would say you did.
Yes. All right, cool. Yeah.
Cory, I have a right over here to your left. I want to go off of Merab. Since you called him out, did you know that he was in the crowd? He's actually right behind you. And also, what is it about him that you see that could be a good matchup?
I think not Marlon. I think Merab is the best guy in the division right now, outside the who's fighting for the title. I don't want to like shy away from challenges. I don't want to be that guy. I want to inspire people. I don't want to like cherry pick my fights all the way to the top. I want to fight the best guys so that when I do get the title, I can defend it because I'm experienced. And I think Merab is like a perfect challenge for my type of style, for my type of fighting. He's going to make me train really hard because of how good he is. And those are the types of guys that I want to fight. And if I can get past him, then I 100% deserve a title shot. And like I said, I just don't want to be like cherry pick guy. The guy's on like a 9-fight win streak. Who am I to like call him out before or to ask for a title before him? You know, like I'm not going to set that standard in MMA. You know, like people should be more real about it.
Bantamweight, obviously this division's one of the craziest right now, and especially with Cejudo coming back. I asked Dana the same thing. What is your overall thought about the state of Bantamweight?
It's great. And you know what? I think it's going to be great for a really long time. That, I think, is what makes it super special, is because it's going to be the way that it is, in my opinion, in 2 years. You know, like the sport changes a lot all the time, but the other divisions I don't think have, like, the packed lineup that we have at 135. So I got, like, a lot of tough fights ahead of me, but I think it's going to be like this for a really long time. Thanks.
Hi, Cory. It was a nice fight for you, a great experience. Do you think the two first rounds were the key for you get a win?
Yeah, I mean, in a 5-round fight, in a 5-round game, if you lose the first 2, you have to win the next 3. That's like horrible strategy to lose those first 2. So like from a strategic standpoint, you like can't lose the first 2 because then you have to win the next 15 minutes, and that's not easy against the top guys in the world. So, yeah, you can fight a little bit different when you're up 2 rounds.
Yeah, Chito was in men's form. Chito is Chito is one of the most difficult fighters on the arena. You know, with this win, you think it's now time to be focused on the belt, maybe?
I'm always focused on the belt. Yep, I'm always focused on the belt.
So, thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Cory, right here.
Yep.
At the end of the 4th round, it seemed like he had kind of like taken his mouthpiece out and he had spat on the ground, and you guys kind of locked eyes after that. What were you thinking at that point?
Bring it. No, I'm just kidding. It was like, I don't know. It's fighting, dude. You know, like hey, man, you got 5 more minutes to win this thing. You going to do it or not, you know? And am I going to stop you or not? So I love 5th rounds, man. There's nothing like a 5th round energy, especially in between like 4 and 5, like knowing that you only got like 5 more minutes to go. Like that's one of my favorite parts of this sport.
And then at the end, obviously, you guys embraced a little bit. What did he have to say to you at the end of the fight?
Normal stuff. Hey, nice job, man. It was nice to fight you, you know, same thing. I respect Chito a lot, you know, like Chito's an inspiring guy. He came from Ecuador, which doesn't have too many other UFC fighters, or if any. I know that he's inspiring like his community back there, so you know, I don't judge people really at all. So Chito's personality is his personality, but I think that what he's doing with his life is probably inspiring a lot of people, and that's like super cool. And I got love for him for that.
And we obviously know Chito is a little bit of a slow starter, obviously, but I mean, through 3 rounds, were you going into that 4th round thinking like, all right, he's got to pick it up at some point here? Were you expecting him to attack a little more than he did?
Yeah, but you can only do so much with certain like skills, you know, like that's like he kept saying the whole week, like whoever wants it more is going to win. And it's like at some point you run into other people that want it the same amount as you, and then you have to be better than them, or else you're going to go home like crying, you know, because you lost. And that's just like the name of the game in sports. Like you have to like at some point you start fighting people that want it as much as you, that work as hard as you. And at that point, you have to be like a better learner and a better fighter and just better overall technically. And I really believe that I was that over Chito.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Yep.
Cory, how confident would you say that your next fight will be against Merab?
Like 90%. I don't know.
Yeah. And you guys are on similar timelines. He like recently fought. So ideally, at least on your end, when would you like that fight to happen?
I got pretty hurt a couple times in this camp, so like I might need an elbow surgery. I was kind of going into it, not like 100%, but not enough to really like bitch super hard about it. But I might need an elbow surgery. I get married on September 1st. My fiance will kill me if we have the wedding, and I have to still be training for a fight. So it will definitely have to be before September 1st, or my fiance will kill both me and Merab. Yeah, she's feisty.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of debate about where the UFC Bantamweight division stands just among the sport. A lot of people say it's the greatest. A lot of people still put lightweight right now. Where you who compete in this division, would you say it's like the best, the most competitive in the sport right now?
I think lightweight and bantamweight are super exciting. Yeah, I don't know. I love 155 too. My teammate Gaethje fights for them, and so I'm like super into 155 too. I don't really know. You know, I don't know. Sorry.
All good. And then May 6th, obviously, we're going to get the title fight between Cejudo and Sterling. Who do you think wins that one? How do you see that fight playing out?
I really can't call that one. I don't really know, because I think Aljamain's going to have a really hard time getting behind Cejudo, but Aljamain's going to have like a really significant size difference over Cejudo, which matters. So to be honest, I don't really know how to call that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, my eye's hurting now.
Oh, you're good. Well, congrats on the win.
Thanks.
Hi, Cory. Was there any consideration in calling Sean O'Malley out?
Yeah, there was until I watched Merab fight last week and like beat up Jan the way that he beat up Jan, and O'Malley and Jan's fight was really close. Like I said, man, like in my opinion, Merab's more deserving of a title shot than O'Malley is. So if the UFC is set on having O'Malley fight for the title, which is what I kind of hear that they're doing, then I want to fight the next like top guy, even though I think he's the topper guy.
Do you think he's gonna sit around and wait for the title shot, or do you think he's gonna be active and fight again before?
If he was promised a title shot, then he's definitely going to wait for the title. If O'Malley wants to fight, we could 100% for sure fight. I would love that fight. I think the fans would love that fight. But like I said, I want to fight like the guy who I think is better, who's Merab.
Awesome. And do you have like any more or was there any other candidates for the interesting call that you did? Was there any other options than the route that you went?
Merab and O'Malley?
Yeah, or like, when you called out Merab, you had like, about the food and stuff like that. Did you have any other, like, were you planning anything else than that?
Oh, no, that was it. That was the end of the stupidity. Yeah, it was perfect.
Awesome, thank you.
Cory, and what do you make of, because you clearly have a different approach, what do you make of Sean O'Malley kind of sitting out and just waiting for the title?
I don't know. I don't really want to judge him. If I was promised a title shot, I'd probably sit around, like you get paid more, you get more notoriety, all of this and that. So if I was promised a title shot, I would probably sit around until I got my title shot too. Just spend some time getting better.
Yeah.
Being a world champ is a goal. So if you were promised that, then don't mess that up.
And can we expect more cheesy call-outs? Is that the plan?
Maybe that'll be my thing. Stupid call-outs.
Yeah.
I need a thing. I'm too boring.
Thank you again, and congrats.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Corey, I'd have one quick one.
Okay.
In the promo, there was a portion that essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but you essentially said, they're saying that, Chito needs a title shot over me, or they're going to give him a shot over me. Do you think emotionally that kind of helped you in locking in for this fight even more so than you already are?
Yeah, because I think it's ridiculous. I beat Song, who beat Chito, and then Chito jumped up to 3. I was like, what is going on here, But, he had a couple good knockouts, and people improve and this and that, so I get it. But I definitely don't think Chito's better than me, and, so when he was ranked above me and getting a bunch of, attention because he was, hype guy, then, yeah, that, bothers me. But I don't know. I don't really have too many opinions about a lot of this stuff, to be honest with you. I just, show up every day and try to get myself better.
Thank you.